All right, this is one of my planters. In fact, we have sugar snap peas already planted. They're starting to come up in the rows. This is a sort of an experiment I've been wanting to try for probably 2 years. I saw somebody take like a half a cup to a cup of rice and dig holes and put the rice down the bottom of the hole. Uh, and what it's supposed to do is draw fungus, I think, first, fungus in your microbes. If it works right, when we come back in a week, and maybe 2 weeks, but it should be in a week, we'll see. Uh, there should be a bunch of worms around it already. There's a bunch of worms in here already, which is awesome. I saw them the other day when I was planting. So I just put the rice down in the hole, and then we're just gonna cover it up. It's about 6 inches deep. Go deeper if you like, but that's probably deep enough. We'll mark it so we know where it's at. By the way, if you want to write on your plant things, I recommend a Sharpie. Anything else, it's going to wash off. Trust me. We're done, but I'll tell you, it's the truth. So we'll go every, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 feet here. I mean, we'll put like 4 or 5 in. Got to be careful not to mess up my rows. Cut down through my cardboard. I did this the other day. I had a bunch of worms in some of these holes. There's one. Just got to look for them. There. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not. It's a baby. Yep. There's a ton of those in there, which is very good. That means the soil is alive. And of course, what the worms leave is the best thing that you could ever feed a plant. Now, some people cook their rice to sort of make it work a little faster, but it won't last as long. So I thought better not to cook it because I wanted it to take a long time and work a long time. You can also take the rice and just soak it in some water. Take a couple cups of rice and cover it with water, with like a quart or two of water, depending on what size container you have, and just leave it. They say an hour. I would say leave it a day, to tell you the truth. Um, and just shake it up, and then you just strain the water off the rice water, and just you could actually put that right on your plants around the bottoms of them, and it's like supposed to be really quick acting food for your plants. What actually feeds the soil, which will then feed your plants. Look at see if I can see any more. I know they're in there. There's one right there. Yep. Woohoo! That makes me happy. I love to see there's some more. I love the worms. Thank you, Lord. These things are going good. Castings. That's what the word I was looking for. That's what the worms leave. It's really just worm food, but they call it castings. When you garden, you can spend as much as you want to or as little as you want to and still have a good garden. But I have spent a little bit of money. Of course, my labor is basically free. My sons, I mean, they get paid back in other ways, of course. So, and they helped me build these planters. They're really big back savers. Of course, I do plant some things and things on the ground, but not much. We're going to build another one. Hopefully, we'll get that on video. You can also see the mulch I have on top. I put cardboard down, and then I put compost on it, and then I mulched on top of that for the winter. I keep my soil nice and moist and keep the worms happy. There they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 worms right there in that pile. And I'll tell you what really draws the worms to the surface like that, especially when the soil heats up, is that cardboard that I put in for the winter. They love corrugated cardboard. Maybe someone can tell me why. All right, so today is Wednesday, March the 11th. So by next Wednesday or after next Wednesday, 7 or more days, we'll come back and dig up a couple of these holes and see what we find. It's been exactly a week since we buried these half to 3/4 cups of rice. Tons of worms. So that's a good sign. There it is. See all the white little like webbing stuff on there? That's the fungus. That's a good thing. And right here, see the worm right here? Worm over here. Sometimes they're hard to see. Some of you are small. There's a baby worm right there. So yeah, I'd say there's a ton of worms in the pile. I'd say it worked. That's really neat. Which I said, I'm just feeding my worms that I know are here.
making them happy. If you want your plants to be happy, make sure you have plenty of worms. And if you're on doing raised beds or on the ground, my suggestion is, and it's late for this because it's spring, there's a fat boy right there. In the fall, what I did was all of my beds, and you can do this on the ground, what I did was layered cardboard in all of them. And then I came back with compost, which is mainly horse manure, with some straw and some wood. And also my mulch, which we can talk about at another point. Mulch is so important for your plants for so many reasons. Without going into detail, moisture keeps moisture in the ground. It also keeps the funguses, good or bad, that are in this soil. Tomatoes, anybody that grows tomatoes will tell you, the heck, oh, there's part of the cardboard. See that? It's almost gone. Anybody that grows tomatoes, especially, will tell you they're notorious for getting diseases. Funguses that just turn the leaves yellow. There's also wilting. You'll come out and you'll think it's thirsty, and you'll water and it won't change. It's a wilting kind of a fungus that makes them wilt. And so on top of the mulch, I put cardboard and then I put compost. And for some reason, and just about anybody that does gardening, does stuff like this, will tell you that worms just love cardboard, especially the corrugated. I don't know why it calls them moisture, or they just love the taste of it. You know, they'll eat through it, but they're just drawn to it. Earlier, like I'd say a month or so ago, I just stuck my hand down, used my garden spade to go down under the cardboard, and already, even when it's freezing cold outside, already there's just tons of worms under the cardboard. So that was a week ago. Now let's look and see what 2 weeks ago looks like. Well, that rice is almost gone. There we go. Yep, the rice itself is almost gone already, and there's a ton of worms in there. They're everywhere. I see like 6 just looking at that. So I would say that this experiment is a success.